When aliens with godlike power descend on Taisho-era Japan, there's only one force standing in their way: the Hashira. In this insane crossover, the legendary Otsutsuki Clan takes on the strongest members of the Demon Slayer Corps, and the results are anything but predictable. Kaguya Otsutsuki versus Kyojuro Rengoku. Kaguya Otsutsuki, the Rabbit Goddess, the first wielder of chakra, and the origin of all shinobi techniques. When she arrives in the Demon Slayer universe, there's no moon to trap her on, no seal to hold her back, just raw divine power. And standing in her path is the Flame Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku. Rengoku doesn't flinch. He sees her power, the horns, the Byakugan, the third eye, and still smiles. That's just who he is. But Kaguya doesn't smile back. She releases ash-like chakra that begins warping the landscape, reshaping the battlefield into a frozen plain, her own version of the infinite Tsukuyomi dimension. Rengoku, fueled by sheer willpower, bursts forward with flame-breathing ninth form, Rengoku slicing through her chakra projectiles. For a brief moment, it feels like he might land a hit, but Kaguya, being on a whole different level, opens a dimensional portal and reappears behind him. She doesn't kill him immediately, not because she can't, but because she's curious, intrigued. His fire reminds her of something long buried: her own humanity. But when Rengoku refuses to bow or submit, she unleashes Amanomanaka, transporting them both to a dimension of lava. Fire meets fire. And though Rengoku pushes beyond human limits, it's clear this is a losing battle. His heart burns brighter than ever, but Kaguya is immortal. As his sword shatters against her godlike chakra cloak, his body falls, but not without leaving a scar on her hand. The first wound she's felt in 1,000 years. The Sage Faces style. Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths. Peaceful by nature, wise beyond comprehension. But don't let the calm demeanor fool you. His power eclipses most of the shinobi world. He's basically a walking deity. Tengen Uzui, the Sound Hashira, enters the battle with his twin blades and bombastic flair. Beside him is Muichiro Tokito, the Mist Hashira, silent, focused, a prodigy. Their target? A floating man in robes, glowing eyes, and truth-seeking orbs rotating behind his back. The fight begins with a thunderous clash. Tengen moves in fast, distracting Hagoromo with explosive attacks while Muichiro appears out of the mist, slashing at blind angles. They're coordinated, efficient, and surprisingly effective. But Hagoromo is calm. He's observing, testing. Then it happens. He activates his Six Paths Senjutsu, lifting his hand and reshaping the air around him. Tengen's bombs stop mid-air. Muichiro's mist is cleared in a flash of chakra. The battlefield changes entirely. Hagoromo speaks of balance, of destiny, but the Hashira are here to win, not to talk philosophy. Muichiro switches to mist breathing, 7th form, obscuring clouds, and nearly slices through Hagoromo's shoulder. It's enough to surprise him, but not harm him. In response, Hagoromo summons a massive truth-seeking staff and slams it into the ground, sending shockwaves that level the area. Tengen is thrown back. Muichiro is pinned. The battle ends not with death, but with Hagoromo acknowledging their strength and leaving, disappointed that this world is so violently similar to his own. Momoshiki Otsutsuki versus Sanemi Shinazugawa. Momoshiki, the parasite, the one who consumes others to become stronger. In the shinobi world, he fought Naruto and Sasuke. In this world, he faces a man just as wild and furious, Sanemi Shinazugawa, the Wind Hashira. Sanemi is already bleeding when the fight starts, self-inflicted. His rage is an armor, and Momoshiki mocks him for it. But Sanemi doesn't care. He charges with wind breathing, slicing the battlefield apart. Momoshiki dodges gracefully, summoning red and blue chakra orbs in his palms. The two trade blows in a chaotic whirlwind wind blades against chakra attacks. Sanemi's speed surprises Momoshiki, who starts absorbing ninjutsu from the air to charge his transformation. Once he activates his second form complete with horns and glowing patterns, it looks like Sanemi's time is up. But the wind, Hashira just laughs. His scars burn, his lungs scream, but he keeps going. He strikes with 7th form, Gale, sudden gusts, landing a deep slash across Momoshiki's chest. It doesn't kill him, but it enrages him. In a cruel twist, Momoshiki tries to absorb Sanemi himself using his chakra absorption palm, but it backfires. Sanemi isn't chakra, he's just pure, stubborn humanity. The technique fails. That moment of confusion lets Sanemi slam his blade into Momoshiki's shoulder. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Momoshiki retaliates with a planet-level shockwave of energy, launching Sanemi miles away. He's broken, but not dead, and somehow, that annoys Momoshiki more than defeat. Urashiki Otsutsuki versus Shinobu Kocho. Urashiki is slippery, the trickster of the Otsutsuki Clan. He can steal jutsu, travel through time, and bend reality, and the one facing him is Shinobu Kocho, the insect Hashira, whose delicate frame hides a terrifying poison expertise. Urashiki thinks he's won the moment he sees her. She doesn't look like a fighter. No brute strength. No heavy sword. Just a smile and a blade dipped in wisteria. But as the fight begins, she dances around him, using insect breathing, Dance of the Dragonfly, striking multiple points with precision. Urashiki underestimates her until his body begins to slow. His chakra feels clogged. It's not her speed. It's her poison. Her sword doesn't cut deeply, but each scratch injects a dose of a custom neurotoxin designed to paralyze demons. And guess what? Otsutsuki physiology isn't as immune as he thought. He tries to rewind time, using his stolen Rinnegan ability, but Shinobu was already anticipating that. Every move she makes is part of a pattern. Each step, each breath is a calculation. She's not overpowering him, she's dissecting him. In a desperate move, Urashiki activates his full chakra form, wings flaring, but it's too late. His systems are shutting down, his body mutates, then convulses. With one final lunge, he tries to stab her but collapses midair, paralyzed. Shinobu walks away, whispering, "Don't underestimate a woman who studies death." Hamura Otsutsuki versus Giyu Tomioka. Hamura, twin brother of Hagoromo and guardian of the moon. Silent, dignified, and almost monk-like in demeanor. When he appears in front of Giyu Tomioka, it's like watching two reflections meet. Giyu doesn't speak, he simply draws his blade. Hamura nods, respectful, then releases a wave of moonlight-infused chakra. It's not destructive, it's purifying, almost serene. Giyu cuts through it, but the waves keep coming. Their battle is graceful, like a ballet of swords and energy. Giyu's movements are smooth and fluid. Hamura's chakra is like water turned to light. In the end, it's Hamura who stops, placing his palm on Giyu's shoulder. He doesn't need to win. He sees Giyu's heart, his pain, his loyalty, and he speaks only one sentence. "You are a warrior of peace, like I once was." Then he vanishes, leaving Giyu alone under a quiet moon. Isshiki Otsutsuki versus Obanai Iguro and Mitsuri Kanroji. Isshiki, the final boss of the Otsutsuki, armed with shrinking powers, a karmic seal, and pure arrogance. He descends into the Demon Slayer world like a god, ready to crush everything beneath him. But this time, he faces a duo Obanai Iguro, the serpent Hashira, and Mitsuri Kanroji, the love Hashira. Two warriors with very different styles, but a shared trust. Obanai moves first, striking with serpent breathing, slithering serpent, his blade curving in impossible directions. Mitsuri follows up with her whip-like sword, attacking from unpredictable angles. Isshiki simply dodges, his eyes calculating every motion. Then he lifts a finger, and Obanai's blade shrinks midair. That's his terrifying power. He can reduce anything to microscopic size, even attacks, but the duo adapts fast. Mitsuri uses her emotion-driven style to bait Isshiki into using his power inefficiently, while Obanai tries to land a sneak attack using Kaburamaru, his snake companion. For a moment, it works. Obanai's blade nicks Ishiki's skin. Infuriated, Isshiki unleashes Daikokuten, summoning massive black cubes from a hidden dimension. One cube knocks Obanai out cold. Mitsuri, bleeding, doesn't stop. Her love for her comrades fuels her strength. In one final charge, she wraps her sword around Isshiki's arm and pulls him close, slamming a poisoned blade into his chest. It doesn't kill him, but for the first time, he staggers. Kinshiki Otsutsuki versus Gyomei Himejima. Kinshiki is pure power, a brute force being who creates massive weapons from his chakra and thrives on close combat. He lands like a meteor, and standing before him is Gyomei Himejima, the stone Hashira, blind but towering and unstoppable. Kinshiki charges with a red energy axe. Gyomei meets it with his chained flail, swinging it with seismic force. The ground splits beneath them. The clash echoes like thunder. Kinshiki is faster than expected, slamming Gyomei through trees and boulders. But Gyomei's resolve is unmatched. He fights using sound and vibration, tracking Kinshiki through prayer beads and intuition. And when he strikes, he nearly shatters Kinshiki's ribcage. Kinshiki grins, finally a worthy opponent. He transforms, increasing his power tenfold. But Gyomei isn't afraid. He prays, he bleeds, and with a roar, he smashes both fists into the ground, creating a crater that traps Kinshiki's legs. The final blow is a flail to the skull. Kinshiki collapses, not dead, but defeated. Gyomei lowers his head and prays for his soul. The Otsutsuki were supposed to be untouchable gods, but in this world, the Hashira showed them something they've never experienced: human spirit, pain, sacrifice, and above all, heart.